Hello, future students or students that are signing up for your CCJ 409L internship class. One thing you need to first realize is that this is not a normal face-to-face or even online class. You have to look at this as this is a ship that you are the captain of. You are steering the ship, and I am kind of like a cruise director that's there to just help you make sure that you don't hit any icebergs or that you go the direction you're supposed to go by completing the assignments and doing them correctly. So this is going to be as quick a video as I can to help those of you that are getting ready to start your internship know what to do. What Moodle site I'm on right now is the prep for CCJ 409 internship site. This is almost exactly like the real Moodle site that you will see once you enroll in the class. Just a couple things are different. For example, under general information, I let you know what you need to do when you are getting ready to enroll in the class and you're about 1 to 2 quarters away. Whereas this is a real Moodle site. If you look here, I just kind of tell the students where our first meeting is, and then I go over the 16 assignments. But other than that, everything else is exactly the same. So back on the prep site. So what I recommend you do is you watch this mandatory video. I'm going under general information. Number 2, you read through the facts area, which is right here, this frequently asked questions. You review the list of past internship locations. So here's a list of possible internship locations, and you review all of the assignments. Okay, so all the assignments, I'm going to go through this in a minute, but I'll let you know where they're at so that you know what you have to complete. Then the below can take 10 to 12 weeks minimum, and they must be completed. All these 6 steps must be completed before enrolling in the CCJ 409 internship, before you can sign up for the class. So one is you need to locate your internship location, and it needs to be related to your future CCJ career goals. Why is that so important? It is because CCJ careers are normally about, have you got your foot in the door? Where have you worked? What have you done? And so therefore, we have upwards of 70% of our students that actually end up working, getting hired as paid positions at their internship locations because they do such an amazing job. They got their foot in the door through their internship, and now they have found out through their months at their internship location job openings, and now they've proven themselves and they've gotten hired because of their internships. So it's very essential that you take this internship seriously and that it's linked to your future career goals. 2, once you find where you want to complete your internship, you're going to contact a supervisor there. And that doesn't mean just email. That means you could email and then a day later you can call, or you actually go to that location. A lot of places may not even offer internships, and all you need to do is call. Say you're a Southern Oregon University student, you'd like to speak to a supervisor about possibly offering an internship program, and you can explain to them that you have to take 2 credits, and each credit is 30 hours worth of work, and they can be paid or unpaid. And we've had students go with, for example, I had a student that found a defense attorney that worked by themselves and didn't have a huge big office, but the student was interested in being a defense attorney. This attorney was taking on some pretty high profile cases, and the attorney said, yeah, I'll take an intern. And this student had an amazing internship experience. If at number 3 and 4, if your internship location wants an application and an interview, you need to plan for that. Most CCJ locations require a background check, and those background checks can take 6 to 8 weeks, so plan accordingly. You then have to fill out the contract and waiver under the assignments below, and then you have to enroll in at least 2 credits. You can enroll up to 14 credits, but you have to have a minimum of 2 credits, and when you enroll, it defaults to 1 credit, so make sure you change it to 2 credits or up to 14 credits. Those 14 credits don't apply towards any other major requirements such as your electives. What they do is they help you meet that 180 credits for graduation needed, as well as can help your GPA. because how I grade the internship program is you either have completed all of the assignments correctly, which is an A grade, or you haven't. So let's go over some quick things about how this Moodle site is set up. All right, really quickly, you have, like I said, the facts, which is frequently asked questions. This is huge because it answers all kinds of questions, such as when can I take the internship? When do I start looking? Do I have to find my own? All kind. If you can look at this, I've added to these over the past couple years from different questions students have asked me. So I guarantee if you have a question, you're probably going to find it under here. List of possible internship locations. So this is a list that I update once a year of locations where students have done internships. Now this list is not all inclusive, and it doesn't stop any student from doing research for a future career you want and finding a location, no matter where you are, whatever state, looking for an internship. Like I said, you can call and ask any location if they offer internships. This is also a link to Handshake. If you sign up, it's free, and it has a ton of internship and career listings as well. So this is two places you can look for internships, and like I said, you can also look on your own. This talks about how do you find a place for your internship. This talks about internships in the private sector, and then here's some free links for you. All right, before you get started with your internship, you have to watch this video. There's also a video on service hours that you have to watch. There's also a mandatory quiz. I didn't put the quiz here just because that will be in your main Moodle site, available week 1. And then there's a forum where you just answer questions about where you're doing your internship, what's your position, is it paid, is it not, what's your, how many credits you're taking, how many hours you're going to work a week, just some basic stuff like that, real easy. All right, here's a syllabus you can look at. And then we have two other places. We have a place that has course documents and examples. And then underneath that are where your assignments are. Okay, so let's go over the course documents really fast. There are 2 documents that have to be completely filled out and signed before any hours will be counted on your internship. And that is your contract and waiver. The contract, and this is where you get your contract, is it has to be signed by your internship location. It has to be signed by you. It has to be signed by me. And the very last place is the contracts office. If you go through here, it talks about how you can do that either in person or via email. But that has to all be signed, and it has to be turned in on Moodle before you can count any hours, along with this waiver. The waiver of liability is just something you fill out and sign. This is something that comes from the SOU contracts office, and I cannot accept any hours without this being signed and filed at the contracts office. I've had students tell me, I've had 2 main things happen. One is I worked last summer, can I count that? No, it cannot be counted. And then second, oh, I worked and I just never got the signature and filed at the contracts office. Again, those hours do not count because all of these signatures have to be on this form and have to be filed with the contracts office. All right, these are all the examples and links to the assignments due. But if we come here really fast, and what I'm going to do is actually switch over to the other class because it's easier to look at. But here are the 16 assignments. All the assignments are due Sundays by 23:55 hours of the week that they are due. So let me give you an example. The video, the mandatory quiz, and the forum are due before you can log any hours. So they can be due at any time, but they have to be due before you can log any hours. And really quickly, if you have not gotten your contract and waivers signed and you haven't started logging hours by week 3, you need to contact me because we're going to look at having you drop the class. No longer are we letting students continue on without beginning their internships in the quarter that they enroll. Next, service hours. That can be done at any time throughout your college career. So if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, you can do them at any time. It's 5 hours. If you want to see a description of it, you can go back to the course documents, and if you go to Service hours, you can click here and there's a short 3-minute video that explains what the service hours are. It has to be done by before week 10 of the quarter. Again, the contract and waiver have to be done before you can log hours. You have the total hours worked log. Your supervisor must sign this. A lot of times I have students try to turn it in without a signature. It has to be signed by your supervisor. It logs in each day how many hours you worked and then the total at the bottom. Don't forget to total it. That's due week 10. Learning objectives are due week 2. And again, when I say what week they're due, remember it's Sunday by 23:55 hours. There's a weekly reflection form that you complete each week you work. That's due Sunday, 23:55 hours of each week you work. So if you worked Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2 hours each day, on Sunday by 23:55 hours, you have to complete a weekly reflection form on those hours. All right, if you complete it, if you are working at a job and you go, wow, I'm going to use my job, like we had a police officer, and the police officer was going to school and wanted to use his job, that's his career he's going to stay in, wanted to use his job as his internship, you can do that. You're going to have an extra assignment though, and it's called Job as Internship Assignment, and that's due week 1. All right, next is you can complete either 10 or 10A, so you can complete an agency analysis and staff meeting report, which is due in week 8, or you can complete an ethical dilemma report due in week 8 as well. And again, if you go under the examples, so the course documents, and you go under staff meeting and ethical dilemma, you will see examples of each if you click on those and how to do those. All right, then you have a reflection report, which is due in week 9. There's 3 evaluations. 2 you complete. One is an evaluation of your supervisor, that's due in week 9, and another is an evaluation of the practicum site, that's due week 9. Finally, there's your supervisor's evaluation of your work. Now, make sure this is due week 10, so you need to make sure you give to your supervisor by week 8. A lot of supervisors, it takes a couple weeks for them to do it, and they have to either email it to me, mail it to me, or give it to you in a sealed envelope to leave in underneath my door inside my office. So make sure you prepare to have that done because it has to be completed by week 10. There's then a thank you email that you have to do by week 9 and a final quiz, and that it's not a real quiz, it just says you are clicking that you have completed all of the assignments, and that's due in week 10. Again, everything by week 10. Finals week is what I utilize to grade everything. All right, I think that's it. If you have any questions, please let me know. But before you do, make sure you go through each one of these, click on them, and review them so that you are familiar with what the internship requires of you. And more importantly, make sure you get started. I recommend at least 1 quarter, even 2 quarters, so 10 plus weeks to start looking for your internship, finding it before you enroll. All right,